I haven't done a lot of videos, so I think I'll do one more for you. When I went to this church and I saw this $500 given to people that showed up to church and then $1,000 given to this other church, this is a big, huge church that cost over $4 million to build. It's actually on 45, so you can figure out it at 45 South. I'll leave it at that. The sad part about it, then I heard another story that really bothered me even more. People that wait tables. That's the only job they have. These big pastors come in there and they had the nerve after their bill is over $500 not to leave this young lady that's waited on this table the whole time. I'll give you a good tip when they leave. This exact same pastor done this. And this thing is, I'm seeing more and this more often in these churches. And the thing that got to me was he didn't even leave her a tip. He said, come to church Sunday morning. I want that to sink into your head. You're going to these big, big churches, some of them that doesn't even have a soul anymore. You take the money away and watch them leave. I have seen this happen before. A friend of mine was telling me this guy was a doctor, and he says, Pastor, I'm just not going to be able to tip you anymore. What I'm going to do is I'm going to offer my services. The pastor politely told him he needed to leave his church immediately. So you need to look at what you're doing. Now, if they're doing the right thing, I'm not talking to you. For those that are not, but at Christmas time, it's the only time that we give a year. And I love this story, so I'm going to share it with you one more time. I was one time not going to celebrate Christmas. I had gotten to that point in my life, and something in me told me, said, take it away. Take it all away. So I took it away. There'll be no gifts for children. There'll be no Marines out here toys for tots. There'll be no police officers helping others. There'll be no free meals for those that are going hungry. There'll be no gifts given to any children. There'll be nothing done at all that has to do with Christmas, all because you took it away. I just did this in my mind. I remember reading years ago where this person dug a hole and they were bragging about how much money they didn't spend on anybody but digging that hole. They were so proud of themselves. Then I just read a story that really touched my heart. This young kid was working. He was maybe 18, 20 years old. He was working for this app with his phone, and he was running as fast as he could, and he slipped and fell, and all the food went everywhere. And this older man who had retired in construction after 30 years finally got up and asked him, he said, what's going on with you? And he said, I've lost my food, all this stuff, I don't know what I'm going to do. He said, sit down. And he offered him a thing of stew. And he looked at his bumper, and his bumper was hanging off, and he said, I can't afford to fix it right now. I'm working 2 apps, and my mom's sick, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Now, this story hit me harder than most of them do. True or not, I don't know. But the older man went out there, and he said, in the rain, and fixed his bumper that was hanging off. It wasn't perfect, but it would make sure it was solid and would be that. He took some screws and what he had known to do that. The young man came back a while later and thought him for all this. He said, I don't know you. Why are you doing this for me? He said, because it's the right thing to do. Jesus said it best, or Yeshua. He said, give to those in need. Live abundantly. Do we do that anymore? No, we give the churches that say they're doing their job. Start acting them where the money's going. Start following the sense. Start following where everything's supposedly going to. Start looking for all answers in all things. But what has happened to charity for other people? I train little kids in martial arts. I don't get paid for it, but it gives me more joy than you can ever possibly imagine, because I know one day they're going to get that discipline, and that discipline is going to take them places. Yes, I work with Black Eagle Martial Arts as a kid instructor, and I love it. So sometimes you do things because you get to do them. Some of you have great talents and skills that you don't help anybody no more but yourself, and you wonder why you're all alone on top of this mountain. Maybe you'll be another Jeff Bezos and run around there and tell you how many yachts you can buy, and look at the poor people down there and everything else. Or maybe you'll be like that movie I saw, Life Stinks by Mel Brooks, and he says, I love when the rain comes. That way it washes all the filth away from the streets. The point that I'm getting at, where are you at? Where is your heart at? What are you doing? Could you give somebody some food? Could you go see a neighbor that you don't know? Could you cut their grass? Could you mend their fence? Could you paint their house? Could you paint their fence? Could you do something out of the kindness of your heart and not want nothing in return? Or does it always got to be about the bottom dollar and how much money you're going to make? Yes, I want to be a billionaire. That is my goal in life, to do it or die trying. But I also want to be able to help the world. That's the biggest reason I want to do it. To give more back than I've ever taken, to keep giving until I can't give no more, to be happy with everything that I get to do, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, and health-wise, to make this heaven on earth in everything I get to do. What about you? What are you going to do? Who am I talking to? I don't know. I usually don't do 2 videos back to back. But today, since I didn't do one at Christmas, I'll just consider this Merry Christmas. So if you're being Scrooge, if you're being the Grinch, stop it. Start looking at people, not just at this day, but every day for as long as you live. Make this heaven on earth and everything you get to do, and watch how the world changes right before your very eyes. As always, love yourself, for you truly are well loved, and may all your dreams come true. But sometimes your prayers, your blessings are somebody else's as well. So make that your life and your path. As always, love yourself. Goodbye.